Back to one of the top stories that you've got a lot of questions about.
Okay, Fox News can confirm local police officers were warned about a suspicious person at Trump's Butler, Pennsylvania rally.
This is getting worse and worse. And a source says a local officer alerted state police of a suspicious man 30 minutes before the assassination attempt. They took pictures.
Unacceptable. Jonathan Serrie joins us live from Butler, Pennsylvania, with what he knows about the investigation. Jonathan, 30 minutes?
Yeah, 30 minutes before this, according to a law enforcement source telling Fox News Digital that this local law enforcement officer, 30 minutes before the shooting, went to state police with a photo of this suspicious individual, and that there was some conversation between law enforcement over whether this was a rangefinder that he was carrying or just a pair of binoculars. Another law enforcement source telling Fox News that there was a lot of police traffic during the rally, indicating that officers were searching for a suspicious individual after getting tips from just everyday citizens at the rally. In fact, those citizens' initial sightings of an individual, a suspicious individual on the roof of that building outside the rally, were captured on cell phone video. Watch.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
Officer, people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have...
That building just outside the Secret Service perimeter was used as a staging area for one of the local counter-sniper teams, according to a federal law enforcement source that was familiar with the security plans. Two federal sources confirm reports that a local officer actually climbed up the roof and spotted the gunman, who then pointed the weapon at him, prompting the officer to drop back down off the roof. According to local media, Butler County Sheriff Michael Sloop defended the officer's retreat, telling KDKA-TV, "I would have done the same thing, absolutely. I mean, people think the officers are supermen, like you hold on to the roof with one hand while you're hanging on for dear life and pull a gun out. It doesn't work that way." The Secret Service expressed solidarity with local law enforcement, releasing a statement this morning saying, "Our agency, composed of dedicated professionals, many from state and local departments, cannot fulfill our mission without the support of courageous police officers. We are deeply grateful to the officers who ran towards danger to locate the gunman, and to all our local partners for their unwavering support. Any news suggesting the Secret Service is blaming local law enforcement for Saturday's incident is simply not true." In an interview with ABC News, the head of the Secret Service said Saturday's events unfolded in a very short period of time, but it's her responsibility, she said, to conduct a thorough investigation to make sure it doesn't happen again.
The Secret Service is responsible for the protection of the former president.
So the buck stops with you?
The buck stops with me. I am the director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable, and it's something that shouldn't happen again. We're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people.
You plan to stay on, absolutely? I
do plan to stay on.
FBI officials say investigators have now unlocked the phone of the deceased shooter, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. Agents have interviewed more than 100 people, including Crooks' neighbors and members of the gun club where he did target practice. But the FBI is still trying to determine the motive in Saturday's shooting. Back to you guys.
So Jonathan, at Quantico, the FBI phone experts were able to unlock the phone somehow. They haven't found any motive yet. I'm sure they've gone through all his stuff. Have they figured out whether or not he left a paper statement about, sometimes we see manifestos, stuff like that. Anything to explain why he climbed up on that roof and started shooting?
Yeah, they did not find, at least not that they have revealed publicly, they said they did not find a manifesto, and that's really why they were urgently trying to unlock that phone, hoping that perhaps there was a digital trail of what was not left as a hard copy in print.
All right. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you, sir.
So they took their second picture of this guy 26 minutes before the shooting. They're all on walkie-talkies. They're all on the same headset. So why wouldn't you just say, we got a suspicious guy on top of the roof? And 26 minutes before the shoot, what does he need? If a guy has a gun on top of the roof, he should be target practice for a Secret Service sniper.
I do not understand why the president was not already in the car after they had identified the shooter 30 minutes prior to that. That makes no...
Remember, it got started later. It was supposed to start at 5.
That's exactly
Or the
right.
police officer that went up on the roof and the gunman allegedly...
Face to face.
Yeah.
Well,
why aren't you allowed to shoot them at that point when you're a police
but he
officer?
Can't. He says he was on the ladder.
Holding on
couldn't
with
get
one
a gun.
hand.
And then the second problem
Then why didn't he get down and say, why didn't he get down and say someone's on the roof?
So that's the problem. The local police comms and Secret Service are on different channels. Most of the time they have like 1 or 2 people that are liaisons between the local police and the Secret Service. But you guys got to fix that. And for the director to say after this major failure that she's still going to stay on as the director,
Lawrence, how many minutes went by after the police officer saw him on the roof and he got down from the roof, he had time to go get someone else?
Well, they say that they...
The way I understand it, from the minute when they made eye contact at the confrontation, the shots rang out right after. He knew he had to shoot, which is interesting because he picked up the pace afterwards.
That's right.
Well, but imagine if they found him when there was some of the preliminary speakers were up there. They could have stopped this. They also thought he was suspicious on the ground.
Yeah.
They thought he was
Well, they
suspicious
had a
on the
sniper
ground.
team in the same building.
That was their headquarters. That's where they were. That's where they were actually staging things. And so there are a lot of stories out there. We knew about him for 30 minutes. We came in contact with him 3 times. At one point, and this is a tell. The guy was one of the, we don't know if it's Secret Service or local law enforcement, but he had the gun scope.
Yeah.
And he's eyeballing where the speakers
people
are.
told him,
at that point, it's like, at that point, you just take him aside.
You know what they say?
And you say, let's take a look what's in your bag.
We think they might be binoculars. So they backed off.
What did the dad say?
Binoculars.
You said his dad was speaking.
Well, his dad has spoke to some local outlets, and he keeps saying he doesn't know what took place at that moment. I mean, I'm just saying, as someone that is supportive of law enforcement, trained a lot of cops with their dogs, I haven't seen anything more egregious since Uvalde. That you just sit and wait as the former commander-in-chief gets shot. I'm sure the people that are on his personal detail meant well, but the advance, the planning, all of this was wrong.
Imagine if that is your dad or your husband, the man who was killed, Joey.
That's right.
And what did law enforcement say? They said, well, we saw him and we took a picture of him. What's the picture going to do?
Because that helped us.
But Ainsley, that wasn't the only big news yesterday.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.